Talking to Raul was cool. Learning lessons, man. I think he saw the message that I put out on Twitter, and then from there he reached out to me on IG, and I told him to come down. Like, yeah, let's talk. Came down. I wasn't sure if he was. He said he was gonna come down, and I just kind of picked his brains, like asking him like, who's he training with, who's he sparring with, who's in his corner, who's his MMA coach, and things like that. Let him kind of do the talking. I don't want to talk too much. I like to listen and almost like let people figure out their own problems by just someone else hearing them out. I offered him to come train. I think tomorrow we might get some work in, more so just drilling. He's a young kid, man. He's got a bright future. Even afterwards, behind the cameras, I asked him about the whole thing. I was like, you can't be going scorched earth policy, like this is the world war type of thing. And he didn't even know what that was, which was funny. I was like, well, you can't burn your bridges everywhere you go. And he said he's still got a good relationship with most of these gyms, which is good, but he hasn't really gotten to sparring. And I invited him out, extended my hand, and I said, if you want to come out, come get some work in with us. We definitely like to have him. I think he's a talented kid, he's young, and he's one of those kids, like, super durable. When you get older, man, those bumps and bruises, sometimes you don't really want to go through those training sessions, so I think it's going to be very beneficial to have a young buck like that who can kind of run through a wall one day and get up and run through a wall the next day. There's gonna be a lot of good things that come out of this for him. At the end of the day, like, I don't throw shade nobody's way. I think he did what he needed to do to help promote himself, and you might not feel like you're burning those bridges, but when you say stuff about certain people, sometimes those people, they hold on to that. Like, look at Izzy. He held on to that. He's like Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. I took that shit personally, you know? So it was good to talk to him outside of all the cameras and his parents being in. I made sure I told him, like, hey, you can come down and we can talk, but please, respectfully, don't bring your parents. And I'm glad he obliged that. So we'll see what comes out of this with the training, and I think it's gonna be good.
I used to work the day away. I figured I could maybe pave a way. No, it's niggas that count the days till I fade away. But you know I always find my way to turn a bad look in the field to something solid. I'm on target for a major play.
Drive through, let's finish that off. No stopping if you can. Final round, we've got to keep pushing, get those muscles used to it. Come on, come on. Nice, Michelle. Rest. Beautiful. Beautiful work, mate. Actually done, my friend. Good job.
Had a really good lift. Focus on the upper body, these forearms, so I can squeeze Henry's little head. Just like that. Then we did some PT, about to do some wrestling work right now. First meal of the day. Not everybody can function the way that I do my dieting, but it's all up here. Training with Raul, JP, his brother, and one other kid. Should be a good session. I don't want to listen to that 2000s rap like Jake. Oh, oh, oh. Bada bum bum bum. Bada bing bum boo. Nah, dude.
What's your bitch ass doing?
My bitch ass. I'm getting ready to fucking try beat these guys up. Fuck them up and don't get fucked up is the goal today. Let's go, fuck mother.
The workout with Raul was cool today. We didn't actually work out together, like me and him physically training. Worked out primarily with JP, but I pretty much ran the session. Everything that we were doing, those guys were doing as well. So I thought it was kind of cool. He saw my tweet, hit me up about it. He said, let's talk. Pulls up to the gym for us to talk, and then the very next day, I told him what time we were training and we were gonna get our workout in. He showed up, and I think that shows it shows some promise, and it shows some humbleness within him that he can be coachable and that he is willing to grow and willing to learn from other people. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he picked up everything we were doing. I just think he's young, he's small for the weight, but at 18 years old, he's got plenty of time to fill out. I remember when I was 18, I wasn't the biggest guy. I mean, I was wrestling 133, you know, and I was cutting down from about 145 as well. But then as I got older, I filled out, got a little more dense, but the technique is actually pretty good outside of like the way he's setting some stuff up. But he picked up all the things that we were doing, showing some funky stuff that I think is right up his alley because he's very good when it comes to jiu-jitsu. So I'm looking forward to seeing his development and for his next fight.
Today was the first training session with Aljo. I think he's leaving to New York, that we're gonna be training when he comes back. Whenever like I have a fight coming up, you know, but whenever he comes back, that's when we're really gonna start training together. But I decided to train with him because I feel like I just need sparring partners, more partners that can give me more competition and put me in like worse positions, like in the training room, so I can get more of that look on like what I need to work on. So I think training with more high-level training partners, like Aljo's gonna be one of them. He's got Mirab, JP, but I think that's gonna help me a lot. Today we were just working on single leg defense, like just wrestling defense, a lot of like simple stuff that's like really important, you know. So like it was good. It was a good training session. It was a light session, like just drills, because like I said, he's in camp right now. But yeah, it was a good session.
But like I told him in the beginning, not directly, but through the interviews, that you should listen to your elders and want to learn from them, especially when they're that much older, because by the time you grow within a 2-3 year period, us and some of these other guys are probably going to be exiting out or at the tail end of our careers. So why not use those guys as an opportunity to get better, learn some knowledge, and also create some friendships instead of making an enemy out of every single person. And it's probably not directly trying to make an enemy, but making a name for herself, which I spoke to him about as well. I'm just happy to see. I like seeing people win. I like seeing people do well, especially people that I know personally or have ever worked with. So hopefully this is the beginning of a new chapter for him. And I told him when I come back to Vegas, we could get some more work in. The sky's the limit, man. 18 years old, he can either excel and go this way, or we've seen some other guys. I know some people were saying it was a Sage Northcutt, like this might be the similar situation. Came in very young and then kind of got, I don't want to say exposed, but kind of got exposed a little bit of his youth in the game. So hopefully it's not one of those scenarios. He can actually develop and become the guy that he thinks he could be and that we think he could have been before that loss. I still think he's a high-level guy. I still think he's very dangerous, especially in that first round. If he gets you down and gets your back, that could be a bad night. Fortunately for Rodriguez, he was able to survive those. But overall, good training session, good double leg stuff, good single legs. My weight's coming down. This morning I actually woke up at 155.9, so the weight's coming back down. I was 157 on Sunday. Then Monday morning, I broke Sunday night. I just went off the hinges, started eating, drinking a ton of food, and I woke up the next day 163.4. Monday morning, after being 157. Then Tuesday morning, I woke up 158.1. And now today, Wednesday morning, I woke up 155.9. So the weight's coming back down, and I want to stay around here and try to keep this, because this time last fight, about 3.5 weeks out, I was roughly 159 on Saturday, so 3 weeks out from the fight. So if I could be a little bit under that means my body's going to acclimate better to being around 155. And that's what I'm most happy about in terms of this camp. I'm doing a better job of monitoring my weight and not fluctuating too much like I've done in the past. Sometimes I'm gonna mentally break in the sense of like, yeah, I just wanna have a snack or some sugar and go a little bit crazy, but hopefully these next 3.5 weeks I can keep it dialed in and you guys can see more of the shreds. You know what I'm talking about? The good old Popeye, baby. So yeah, that's the day. Training's going great. Can't wait to do some more. We are back in the Octagon, May 6th. Make sure you guys tune in. AljamainStorm.com. Go get yourself some new gear, some new merch. Let's keep the good times rolling in.